Hi and welcome back. In this video, I want to show you how you can work with landing pages on Getresponse. So I'm going to show you how you can build a landing page from scratch. And once you learn how you can build a landing page from scratch, you can edit any of the themes and templates that Getresponse provides. So that's why I want to show you how you can build one from scratch. So I'm going to pick one and then I'm going to delete everything. I'm going to delete the things that are inside of it. And then we're going to build a template from scratch. And once you know how to work with things, then you'll be able to edit any of the templates that are available on Getresponse. So this is going to be a para video, and by the end, you're going to know how to work with Getresponse landing pages. So let's get started. And to create landing pages, you will go just here, landing pages. And you can see I don't have any landing page as of yet. So you can click and create. If you had landing pages, they'd be listed here, and you can just click. And if you want to delete landing pages which are already here, you could just click and there'll be an option here telling you to delete it as soon as you click it. So if you want to create a new one, you'll just click on create a landing page. So you can choose a landing page from any of this and just design it. And you can see that there are a lot of templates here that you can start working with. So you can choose any of them and start working with them. But of course, I want to teach you how to be good in this Getresponse landing pages. So for us, we are going to start from scratch. We're going to build one from scratch, and even though they say they're from scratch, you can see that they still have some content. So we are going to do drag and drop. So this is all drag and drop. There won't be any programming, any coding in this video. Okay. So I can choose any template because I'm going to remove all the content which are inside of it. But maybe for you in future, when you're designing yours, you will just decide and choose whichever you want. After you watch this video, it will entirely be up to you to decide how you want to build your landing pages. So in my case, let me just click this and I'm going to show you how you can delete everything in there. And that's what I'm going to do. And then after that, we're going to start building the landing page from scratch. So I will call this one sample. And then I will just click to use the template. Okay, so you can see that this is what is here by default. And as I said, I'm going to delete all of this so that we can start from scratch. And this will enable you to understand how to build a Getresponse landing page from scratch and even edit any template that is already available on Getresponse. So I'll start by deleting this element. So let me just click on this and I can delete that. Click on that, delete it. Click on that, delete it. Click, delete. Click, delete. So here's an update. While editing the video, I noticed that there's something I forgot to tell you, and that is in all of these templates, you can have a thank you page. So for this one, it doesn't have a thank you page, and this is the one that I chose. And if you want a thank you page, you'll need to click the right template, and you can see that this one has got a landing page and it's got a thank you page. So you can edit the thank you page in the same manner as you would edit the landing page. So let's say I choose this template, and this would be my landing page, yes. And here you can also see that we have a thank you page. So here on the thank you page, you can edit it in the same manner as I showed you. I will show you how to edit the landing page. So that's something that you need to keep in mind, because as soon as somebody subscribes on your landing page, they will automatically get redirected to your thank you page. So I can leave this one. The reason why I can leave this is because I can just move it. Okay, so I can't seem to drag it down. But what I can do is, let me show you how you can add an element. You see, I've just added a section, and this section is like a row. So when it is like a row, I can use it to add more elements inside of it. And I think this is a better way of designing the elements, because it gives me better control. So just by clicking on it and dragging it down, you can see that I can move it. So that's about the introduction of this. So I can first of all give you a preview of what we are going to do in this video. And I want to create, so I can't seem to resize this one. So what I'll do is I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to put it on this, on the one that I've just added, and then I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to show you how you can add more, but this is where we're going to get started. So first of all, what is a landing page? A landing page, as the name suggests, is that a page that is created for the purposes of marketing, and it is a page that has an objective. So it is not like any other page on the site, and most people confuse a landing page with other pages on their website, like a home page. That is not really a landing page. A landing page is much simpler. It has a specific goal, so it must have a goal in mind. Like if you're selling a course, then you must only tailor your content and everything you put on the landing page towards the course or towards the item that you're trying to sell. So that's what a landing page is in brief. And in most cases, you'll see certain pages that look like landing pages, and they have the menu item. So if the landing page has a menu like on your website, that's probably not a landing page. And if you're using that, then you're actually causing distractions. You're reducing your conversion when you use that in a marketing perspective. Like if you're marketing an item on Google and you spend money and then you drive people to a web page on your site, and the web page has other links, that is not good for the landing page. So that's where something like Getresponse comes in, and you can use it to design a landing page which has no obstructions. You can just tailor your content towards the item that you're trying to sell. So in this video, the kind of landing page that I'm going to build is going to be based on this video course. So this is, let it just finish loading here. So this is a free video course, and I want to create a landing page based on it, just for the content. I need this content. Okay, so this may look like a landing page in its own respect. However, because it has so much distractions, it has so much that is obstructing the actual goal of this, that it cannot qualify as a landing page. And if I was to do any kind of marketing and promote this on Facebook or promote this on Google and use this as my landing page, I would be hurting my own conversion because of the distractions. All these are just distractions from the objective, and the objective are this. Okay, either you join it here or you join it here. Yeah, so I'm going to build I'm going to build a landing page based on this. We're going to embed this video, we're going to add content, and we're going to use a form. We're not going to use this button. And that brings me to another thing, which is the types of landing pages. So you can have primarily two types of landing pages. There's a landing page which is used for collecting leads, and that is the one that you see most often, the one where people are collecting leads, and that is a lead generation form. And that's the one which usually has the email address fields, and people enter their email address and they get something to download, or they get a coupon, something in that nature. Or you can have one of those whereby there's just a button. So if this was a landing page without all this, this would serve as a click-through. Okay, so let's say you're an affiliate, you don't really care much about collecting people's emails, and you just want to create one whereby when they click, they make when they click and they buy something, you make money. So you can just have a button and your content, and the content for your landing page without any form. So that would qualify as a click-through landing page. So it's important for you to know what your goal is and build your landing page accordingly. So for me, we're going to build something using this content. So first of all, I'm going to embed the video at some point. So that's enough about the talking and the theory and everything. So now let's get started with creating the landing page. And the way that I'm going to create it is I'm going to build it such that there will be a video on this side, there will be a form on this side, and there will be a header at the top. And if you want to, you can add content below it, and you can add any content. I'm going to tell you which kind of content you can add below it. I'm probably not going to add any content below it because I won't want the video to be extremely long, and I do anticipate that it's going to be a long video. So let's get started here, and I want to do everything in its own section. So these are the content blocks that you can add on your Getresponse landing page. You've seen what this one does. This is a section. If you just add it here, it will add a row whereby you can add elements within it. And then this is for text. If you add this will enable you to write text. This is for images, that's a button, and this is a form. So if you want to collect leads on your landing page, you're going to need to use a form. And these are for shapes. If you want to add these kinds of shapes, you can just add them and drag them on your landing page. And you can also invite people to your webinar. If you've already created a webinar on Getresponse and you want to invite people, then you can use this. You can just drag it here and it will bring the content of the webinar here. I don't have any webinars here, so this would probably just give me empty content, generic content. And if you want to add images, if you want to add videos, you'll just drag the video element here, and you see here you can add your social icons. You'll just add them here. If you have a button, if you had a product that you're selling and you're using the landing page to sell it, you can connect Getresponse, you can integrate Getresponse with your PayPal, and then you can just use this button. You can use the button or the product that you set on PayPal. You can just drag them here and the button will show up for people, and when they click on it, it will take them to PayPal and they would buy whatever it is you're selling. And I did a video about this. If you look at one of the videos that I did, it's about integrating PayPal with Getresponse, adding products and so on. So you can find that. And I'll put a link for this. You can find the link below for this. It's in the long Getresponse tutorial. You're going to find it. You're going to find it in that video. Okay, so let's get started right away. And of course, the first thing that we want to put up here is our image, our logo. So I'll just drag this in here. So let me drag that once again, and I want this to be our logo. So let me increase the size of this and click on replace to add your logo. So if you don't already have a logo, you can just upload yours from the computer, or you can upload it from a URL. If you already have it on your site, you can just upload from a URL or click here to upload it from your computer. I already have mine uploaded here, so I'll just use this one. And I want to resize it, and if you resize it this way, you can see that it resizes in that manner, and I don't want that. So I will click this so that I can crop it, and I can crop all these spaces, and this will allow me to have this image work nicely for me here. Okay, so that is done. The next thing that I want to add is I want to add a heading here, and I'm going to use the text element here. So let's say, let me see which heading I can come up with for a Bluehost tutorial. Let me say learn how to manage your own website, and I want this to be extremely huge, and let me just choose 42 pixels. If I choose 42, and I can increase the size of this. So there we go. And on this side, I want to add a video. So once I add all the elements here, I'm going to tell you the psychology behind my reasoning on why I'm adding the elements the way that I'm adding them. So for now, I'm going to add the video here. And this is a very nice feature in Getresponse on this landing page editor. You can just drag in this element and then embed a video. If you want to embed your own video, you can just double click on it. And if you double click, you're going to see that you can paste in the link to your video. And if I paste in the link that I just copied from here, and then I click on embed, let me look at what options they have for settings. And you can also see that there are other settings that you can put here. You can show controls or hide controls, and this will hide all the YouTube controls or the Vimeo controls. So if you want to hide them using this. And if you want the video to autoplay or auto loop or to loop, then you can select that as well. But if you select this, just know that your landing page is going to be pretty slow, because it's going to load the video initially. If you want your landing page to be fast, then this is a better way to do it. Just put the video, and if people want to click on it, they'll click on it, or you can choose any of this if you want to. It doesn't really matter. And once you add the link to your video, just click on embed so that the video can get embedded. And of course, you'll see that this video is too tiny here, so I can increase the length of the video either way. So you see, with Getresponse, you can just drag elements, and so far this is what we have. And we are adding our form here. Before I do that, let me add some kind of text here. Let's say, once I add this content, I can just increase the width of that. For this one, let me just select everything, and I want to make them list items. And you can also increase the font size of the elements. So on the larger devices, this will do. And if you see it turned red, it just means that it's going beyond the content width, the entire width of your content area. That's why it's turning red. So on this side here, I want to add the contact form. I want to add this form, and the idea is that people should be able to see this form without having to scroll. So what I will do is I will reduce that, and I will also, let me see how far I've reduced it, because I want them to be the same, and that is 38. Yes, that is 38. And then this one, let me make this one also 38. And then this one also, I will bring it here, and I want this one to be full width with this. And this one also, I can reduce it. So if you're not targeting people in the Eurozone, people from the EU, then you probably don't have to worry about GDPR, and your form can just be like this. However, if you're targeting people in the EU, you're going to have to add some element here. You're going to have to add a checkbox here to request people for their permission to send them emails. Okay, so you probably know about GDPR by now and how you can implement it and what you need to do. So if you want to implement it on this form, and I'm not going to, however, if you want to implement it, what you can do is there's a video I did about that. Just go, I'm going to link to it down, and it's a video that shows you how you can add custom fields. And when you add the custom field, you can add you can add a checkbox here with the promotion that you intend to do so that people can consent to it. So if you don't know about GDPR by now, I don't know, you probably shouldn't really mind with it if you don't know about it by now. But if you're not dealing with people in the EU, then in the Eurozone, then you should probably just leave your form like this, because it will be much better this way anyway. It looks much better this way. All right, so that's pretty much the first bit of this. And one of the rules of landing pages for this is that this thing always needs to be very conspicuous. All right, it has to be seen immediately and recognized immediately, and this is blending in. So at some point I'm going to show you how you can add a background image on this so that your header can have a background image if you love that kind of thing. So let me just edit this, and if I double click it, you see that there's this thing here. I can change the background color. So for this one, I can give it a different background. Let me make it some form of red, at least so that it's visible, but you can make it any color that you want. So I'll do that, and then so this is entirely just to make this thing a lot more visible. Right, so when I do that, you can see that it's much more visible, and as soon as somebody lands on the page, they will immediately see what it is. And also, let me reduce the font size of this, and here I can add some text just to invite people to sign up, right? So here you can even use an image here, but videos, in most cases, people who watch the videos will convert better than the images. So it's entirely up to you to decide how you want yours to be. So if I click on preview so that we can preview our landing page so far. So you're probably wondering why I decided to put the form here instead of just trying to put it down here. I could also put it down here, and I'm going to show you how you can do variants. You can see this is variant 1. You can do variants so that when you're doing A/B tests, you can see which one converts better, and you can decide that's the one that you want to work with. In most cases, you always want your call to action to be above the fold line. So the fold line, that is a line above which everything is visible without scrolling. So for me, that's what I had in mind. That's what I wanted to do. That's why I put this on this side. And that is why I put this here, so that if somebody comes and lands on this page, they can just sign up without really having to scroll. And that's something that was very important when I thought about the design. So if you want yours to also be like that, then this is how you do it. You just make sure that everything else here is there, it's available, it's visible, but make sure that people can sign up without really having to scroll. So the call to action must be visible every time, and you can see that it's not the best color here, but at least it is conspicuous. People just have to see it immediately, right? Or another way, you can remove this background color and just make this one red. Yeah, that will also give this, it will also make it pop. So if you want it to pop, you can make this one red, remove the background color if you're so into beauty and aesthetics, but sometimes aesthetics doesn't lead to conversion. So this is one variant. So let's come back here, and of course this one also you may want to change. You may want to change that to So like the theme for this is just learning. Okay, you can see they're learning, learn. So I'm trying to stick with one theme throughout. So up here also you can add some kind of, you can add something like this just to let people know that, you know, they're not alone. And then let's increase the font of this. Let's make it 25. And then I'm going to drag it. Let me just drag it. That is 1000, not 100. And I can make this. You see that green line? That will help you to align it in the middle. And for this one, let's increase the font. Let me click outside. And then I can drag it all the way. And I can snap it right there. Even this one I can drag it up just to create some spacing here. And for this one, let's make the color of this one green. So if you make it green, it will let somebody know immediately that, you know what, I'm not alone. If people have already gotten in, I might as well also just give my email and join it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about the fold line. So it would be up to you to try and test it out. Like for instance, if you want to see which one converts better, I'm going to show you how to create a second variant, and we're going to design it. And I'm not going to design the elements below. I'm just going to show you how you can design it. I'm just going to show you how you can design it, and then you will be able to know what you can put down here. But the most important parts of the landing page are usually above the fold line. Okay, so that's why nowadays you'll find most people, when they create, most companies, even you can look at some of the landing pages of the big companies, you'll see that they usually put a video. It could be a video here, and this call to action even below. It won't be visible here, or this will be visible, but it will be in one line. And we're going to do a variant which is like that in the next video, in the next section, once we're done with this. So before we even go any further, you know, nowadays one of the most important things is what is it called? Mobile responsiveness. So how is your landing page on a mobile device? Now on a mobile device, how will it be? Let's just click here so that we can see. Let's generate this, and you can see how it is on a mobile device. And of course, we want a situation whereby on the mobile, we want to give precedence. We want to give precedence to this. We want this to be more prominent, and we want this to be more important to us than the video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this up, and I can just drag it and put it there. And the video also, I can drag it down, and I'm going to put this one here. So you can design different, you can design it differently on mobile. So just drag that one down, drag it down. Okay, let me increase the height of my section. So for some reason, this one has reduced, and we don't want that. We want it to be big. Let's reduce this one. Let's make it 20. So if somebody comes in, they can sign up, or if you want to give precedence to the video, you'll just drag it up. And as I said, you can do different variances to test which one works best for you. So if I do a preview of the mobile of the mobile design. Let's see how it is. And you can see that even without scrolling, this is visible, and that's something that that is also nice. You know, if somebody just comes in and they don't even want to scroll, they just want to sign up because they saw your ad on Facebook and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to join this thing. I don't have to read anything that comes after. So that's why I'm putting this up here. And then let's go back to this and we see how you can add an image on this. So first of all, I want to add an image which doesn't fit well, so that you can see your options. So if I come out here, I can just click on this, double click on it, and then you see here it allows me to upload an image. And let's say that I use one of these images. Let me go back there, console, double click, and then I come here. You see we have these iStock images, and you can see if you like some of this, you can use them. I think using them is free with Getresponse. Yeah, so you can just come here and try and use them, but most of them are pretty tiny, and that's why I want to show an example using them. So if you want to upload an image, just click here to upload your image. But for now, let me say that this is an image that I've chosen, and you can see how it is, right? This is how it is. It is being tiled. So you can see it is being tiled on both sides, that is vertically and horizontally. So if I say no repeat, you can see the image will only be somewhere up there. So this is a background image. And if I say fit the entire screen, let's see. If I say fit the entire screen, it can fit the whole screen, and you can also move its position. Like this will put it at the top, like the image. Let's say this is my image. I'll just select it from there and pin it to the top that way. And if I decide that I want it to be pinned from the bottom, I can select it here. Let's say this is my image. I can select it from here and then pin it down using this. That's the difference of this. That's how you can understand it. So this means it starts at the top and then it is at the center. Okay, so you can do this. You can design, you can choose how your images will appear. This will tile the image. That will just use one image and it will fit it across the screen. And if you want it to be at the center, that's how you do it. And you can make it fixed. If you make it fixed, it can give you the impression of parallax effect. So of course you're going to have to change the color. You can see this one is already looking nice. This one is already looking okay because the contrast is there. For this one there is no contrast, so I would have to change the color of this one to white. Let me make it white. Okay, and then this one as well, make it white, or just a slight variation of white. This one also. This one I can make it green, why not? And then select green. Okay, it's not that visible, so let me just make it white. Okay, so you can see the image, the logo here is not working well with this image. So what I would need to do is I would need to add a background, and you can do that on Photoshop. You just go to Photoshop and you add a background on this. This is a PNG transparent element. That's why these elements don't come with the background color. However, if you save it as a JPEG, it will automatically come with a background color of white. So let's say I preview this. Let's see how it's appearing on this side. So of course you'd have to choose the right image. You can see this image has these elements of white, and that's making it hard for this to be visible. And this is not good for your landing page. It looks very cluttered and very confusing to the eye. So let me choose a different image and we see how it's going to be. So let me upload an image. Let me double click, and then I'm going to remove that image, and then I'll go into my computer to upload a new image. So before I use this image, let me use this one, which is lighter, so that I can show you why I want to use the other one. So if I use this one, you'll see that there are certain elements, there are certain places whereby there is no contrast. Like here, there is no contrast, and there's no way for me to add an overlay in this. There's no way for me to add an overlay. I tried to add some custom CSS, but it didn't work. So I don't know why it didn't work. They should allow designers to add custom CSS. I tried that earlier, but it didn't work. So you can see that this one has some kind of collision, right? That's why you normally see there's an overlay in most, even on website slideshows, you'll see that there's an overlay. That's something that I wasn't able to add using CSS. It would have been much easier to add via CSS. Okay, so you can see that it's not entirely bringing out the contrast. Okay, so let's say I try a different image, which I've added an overlay in Photoshop. I've added an overlay in Photoshop. So let's see if it's going to be any different in terms of the contrast. So the contrast is basically every color, every text that you write should be visible clearly. And you can see for this one, it's much darker because I added an overlay in Photoshop. So if your image doesn't show up nicely, you can just go back to Photoshop and add an overlay so that you can see this one. Let's look at how the other one will be. So you see with this one, it's much darker and everything is easier to see. And the reason why I made the image fixed is because it gives you an impression of an overlay. It gives you an impression of parallax. So basically the content that are up are moving up, but the image stays still, right? And this is why I chose this design way, whereby I was just adding sections. So if I want to add anything, I can just add a section, and this will enable me. If I want to create a parallax on my landing page, this is what I can do. I can design something like this, add an image to that section, then add another section, add an image to it in the background, just like I've added. So that's something you should try. Okay, just try it and see how you like yours. If I had all the time, I would create it, but I don't want this video to be extremely long, and it's getting very long right now. So you can see the contrast between this and this, right? There's a contrast. So the overlay, you can add this in Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop or you don't know how to use it, you can just find someone else to do it for you. You can go to Fiverr. If you have the $5, just pay someone to do it for you. Or you can just go online. I don't know whether there are applications for this. There's probably an application for this. Nowadays, there are applications for everything online. So I've shown you how you can work with this, how you can make your landing page look nicely, on how you can make it nice even on a mobile device, right? Now, before I go down, actually, let me finish up with this, the elements down. Let me show you how you can create and add elements down here before I go into the variant. And the variant will be a way for you to just use two landing pages with the same content or different content, just for you to see which one works better. And you can do that in Getresponse using A/B testing. So if I just drag this up, it will give us this. So down here, you can add content, and you can add any kind of content. I always believe that in landing pages, the most important parts are up here. Okay, if you're doing this, if you're creating your landing pages and you're marketing them on Facebook, you're using paid promotions, then the most important parts are up here. Just make sure that maybe the image you've used in the background and the image you're using here, or the video, is the same as the one that you're using in your ad for some consistency. People don't want to come from a different image, come in here and see that it's a different image. The video that you're using on the ad is different. Nothing is the same. So just make sure that everything is consistent with your ad. Consistency is very important throughout the process. Now down here, I'm going to take an example from ThemeForest or some people that sell on eBay. So there are certain descriptions that when you look at, you always see some amazing, beautiful looking images of how to use the product, features of the product, and they don't really use text. They just use images, and it's much easier to create beauty in images than it is to create beauty with text. And you can do the same, okay? So I'm going to ThemeForest, and then I'm going to show you what I mean. So you can do a similar thing. You'll find that they take images, they add some images of people using the product, then they combine those images, and down here you'll find a stream of images along with text. So you can do a similar thing, and that's exactly what I would encourage you to do if you don't know what to put down here. In most cases, you just put down here is about trust. The landing page is entirely about trust, and you are trying to establish trust. So the most important things are there people who are already using the product? If there are people that are already using the product, let people know that, yeah, people are already using this product. This is what they're saying about the product. Then you can also put features if they have some USPs, that is unique selling propositions in your product, whatever it is, put that down here. So let me go to ThemeForest, and I'm going to show you an example. So if I come here to ThemeForest, let me go into WordPress and let me choose popular. I'm just going to pick any, and I know by picking any, I'm probably going to get the result. If I don't get what I'm looking for, I'll just go to another theme. You know what? Let me just choose the first one, and let's see what they are doing on their description. Yeah, so this is what I mean. If you look here, you'll see that these are just images, okay? This is an image, this is an image. So this is what I'm telling you. If you don't know what to put down there, just create some beautiful images with a product, at least that are related to whatever it is that you're trying to promote. And then you put them down there as part of your page. Just make sure they are responsive, okay? You can see this is responsive. I can just tell that this is a responsive image based on how it is designed. A responsive image is one whereby even if you're viewing it on a mobile device, it doesn't lose the message, it doesn't lose the pictures that you have. So like for this one, if I was to resize it down, this thing is going to resize, but I'm still going to be able to read this. I'm still going to be able to see this, and these are all going to be still readable and legible. So that's what you need to aim for when you're creating the images. Make sure that they are responsive images, an image that the most important part of the image is not lost when it is resized. So if this was being viewed on a mobile device, you can see that this would still be visible on a mobile device. You could still read all of this, and that's what you need to aim for. So this basically shows you the features of this theme, and these are images, okay? These are not text. This is not text. This is an image. These are also images, and you can see here that's an image, and it's kind of like a thumbs up from Envato Marketplace. So if you have things like this, maybe somebody said something nice about your image, just take a snapshot of it and you can add it down there on your landing page, something like this. And then these are features of the theme. So if you're selling a product, maybe you're selling, let's say you're selling a laptop, okay? You can put the features here, DDR4 RAM. You can maybe take pictures of the laptop and things that people can do with it. If it's a gaming laptop, you can even put pictures of certain games here. Just write gaming up here, and then you put pictures of famous games that people love. You put the games here, and then anything else, any other features that you want to write. Maybe comes with which graphics beautiful graphics, good for video gaming, good for video editors, perfect for video editors and all kind of media editing, media creation, things like that. Like you can see, this is another thumbs up from Envato. You just take the snapshot, and this is from, I think this is from Twitter. So they just took a snapshot from Twitter and they add it here, and you can see they didn't. I think this is a snapshot that was taken on a mobile device. It's the only way that you can get, and that you can get it in this nice quality. If you take it on a mobile phone, it's probably going to, if you take it on a computer, it's probably going to be squished up. But on a mobile device, if you take it with a snapshot with your phone and then you edit it, it's going to give you a good, something that is responsive, an image that can resize, and the quality, the message won't be lost. And you can see all this. So this is what I mean. It works with WooCommerce, something like this. Okay, you get the idea by now. So here you can see that these are just, so here you can see that we just have ThemeForest reviews from ThemeForest users, So you can just see that they've added a few of them there, and you can do the same thing. Like if the product that you're selling already has reviews, or any person has said something nice about it, you can just take snapshots of those and then you add them here. And then it continues on to tell you some of the features, all these features, and so on. And then once you scroll down, that's when you'll start seeing text. So this is probably added here for SEO purposes. So you can do the same thing. You just add images, and then of course you add text. There's some people who want to see the features, and you can put all those things that you've said up there in images. You can put them in words, and this will help you for SEO reasons. There are certain landing pages that have been highly optimized that they can even be viewed on search engines, especially if you are doing this and the landing page is on your actual website. On Getresponse, I'm not sure about that, unless you're using your custom domain. So you can see there's also some text about the product and everything about it. So you can do something similar. Yeah. With that said, this is still just a web page, and it is not a landing page entirely, because of all distractions that are coming from all the other elements that are on this page. But this is a nice way. I've also seen things similar to this on AliExpress and on eBay. So that's where I got this idea. It's a really nice way of just putting things and communicating your product to people. So I've spent a lot of time on that, and I'm hoping that by now you understand exactly what you can do down here. So you can just come here, drag in an image. Once you create your images, you drag in your image. You can put your image here, as many of them. So first off, let me widen this, and you can just add your images in there. Okay, as many of them as you have, and then you add your text, and then down here you'll put your logo once again, and here you can add your legal info. Yeah, nowadays that seems to be very important. Nowadays that's very important. Just put your privacy policy or terms and conditions of the product that you're selling, and just, if you want to add a link on something, just click on it and then you can add your link there. Or if you want to link, you can even create a one-pager element on your landing page. So you can do that using sections. If you want to create a one-pager, you can do that using sections, maybe about, and then maybe you're using this as a mini website. You can use sections. That's why I added the sections here. So you can see it's much better to use sections. If you create yours from scratch, you can add sections, and then you would double click that, click on that, and then you would click on the various sections that you want to link to and link to them appropriately. Right. So I'm going to assume that you are able to continue from here in this with all these other designs based on everything that I've told you. Just make sure that when you're adding any textual element here, you use headings to separate content, and you use highlights. You see something like this, okay, to separate content. That will make it easy to read, and that is good for user experience. So the next thing that I want to show you here is how you can create a variance. So a variance is as simple as using the same template. So you click here to add a variant. So we have here variant B. Let's say for the second variant, you want to see how people are going to react, whether this is going to convert better with a different design. So let me extend that, and I want to bring this one down here. I want to bring this one down here. You can leave that there. So the point of a variant is for you to see if it's going to convert better. So you can just have the image that's that tiny, and then for this one, let's make it a horizontal form. We want it to be a horizontal form, and I'm going to remove the background for this one. So I'll just take that, snap it there, take that, snap it there. Let me reduce the width, and then you can see it even gives you lines so that you don't create things which are zigzag. So you can leave it like that. If you like the background color, you can leave it that way. And even this, you can bring it down, bring this one down, just like that. Right? So this can be your second variant. You're just trying to see which one is going to convert better. Okay, you can test them just to see which one will convert better. Right? So let's preview this so that we can see what it is. So you can see this one is way different, much different from the other one. Yeah, and you can even drag this one up so that you can have this down, but it's entirely up to you because you're the one who is testing. So if you test and you find that one works better than the other, then that's the one that you should spend your energy and marketing time on. So if one is not working, don't spend your marketing time on it. Just spend the time on the other one. So that's pretty much it. And for this one also, you'd have to go into the mobile. The mobile display for this one is okay. You can see this one doesn't work out well. So just double click on it and click on this one so that you can resize it appropriately. If I bring it this way, I can take, okay, then I can resize it so that it fits on your screen. That's the point of mobile. So let's look at variant B. Is it any different from the first one? Yeah. Variant B, you can switch things here and just bring the video up so that you can test out which one is better in terms of conversions. That's the point of the variance. You want to see which one will convert better. There you go. There we go. And then for this one again, let's resize it. Drag it here so that it fits. Snap it to the center. Drag this one down. And maybe reduce the font. align it to the left. All right, so that's pretty much how you can design a landing page on Getresponse. And then let's look at any other element that's remaining here. We don't want to miss anything. Okay, so as I said, you can add different sections. Let's say I add another section here, and on this section, let me bring that on there so that we can have this one here. So let's say that on this one, you want to add another background image. And something that I've forgotten to tell you, which is also very, very important, is once you've created a long landing page, make sure you have another call to action below everything. Okay, tell them sign up or join or whatever. Make sure you add another one down there if it is a long one. You see the way this one was long, so something that would work well for these guys is they can bring this, you see this, they can snap this here so that it remains static. When people scroll, it remains static. That would be something that they should think about. And then let me close that. So as I was saying, which one are we working with? I was working with this one, right? So make sure that once you've created everything up there, you add another call to action down here so that people don't have to scroll all the way back if they want to sign up immediately. All right, so that's another important thing. That's another important thing that I forgot. Once you create all the things in there, the content, and you know the content, just copy things like this and you'll be safe. So we also have all these others, and in another video I showed you how you can connect PayPal. Maybe you're selling a product here, and in that case you probably won't need to capture emails. It won't be a priority for you. You can even have that button here. If yours is just selling something, you can add a button here, and you can connect this with Getresponse so that when they buy, they will automatically get added to your email list. So you won't need this if you're using a button, or if this is at a click-through, or if this is a click-through, and for a click-through, maybe you are selling an application, and in the application people are signing up. So it's a web application or mobile application. When they go in, they sign up on the application. Like let's say Getresponse, for instance, you have to sign up with an email. And so once they create the email, you don't really need this because you'll already have their email when they're signing up for the product. So with the click-through like that, then you also don't need a form. You just need a button. You'll just bring the button. Let's say you bring the button, and then on the button, just double click on it, and you can add the link to the button wherever it is going. And if you want it to open in a new window, you're going to make it open in a new window. So that's pretty much how to deal with this. Let me delete this. And something else that I haven't looked at here is, where is it? Inside of settings. Here you can create titles for your SEO, like whatever your product is about. Like for me, let me just copy this. Yeah. And then you also add your description in there. And if you expect that you're going to get visitors, or you expect to get visitors from the EU, you can turn the cookie notification on, right? So that they know that their website uses cookies. Anything else here? You can add a favicon. You can upload a favicon. So a favicon is what will appear here. You can see I'm using the private browsing mode, so it doesn't show up, but normally it will show up here. You see where this is? That's your favicon. And then you can add an image here, so that when you post this on Facebook, then that will be used as the image. But by default, I think it's just going to pick the first image. So you can select an image, okay, and use that image. And then once you're done with all of this, you just click on OK. And you can save your template so that you can preview it, or you can save it and exit, and you can save it as a template. If you really love this, you can save it as a template and then use it later on as another landing page for a different product. If you love it, you've tested it, and you know that it converts, then you can save it as a template. So let's go to the next step so that we can see what we have in the next step. So here you can add the details. If you don't want this to be indexed by search engines only, I think only Google respects this. Most other search engines are just like spam. They probably will ignore this. Just add that. Click this if you don't want your landing page to be indexed. And then the landing page URL settings. There you go. You can add a URL for yours, and you can call it something unique, maybe, or you can assign your domain if you add a domain here. I haven't added any domains, but there's a video I did about this in the Getresponse tutorial, so you can see how you can add a domain to Getresponse, verify it. Let's see if I can't open it in a new window, so I'm going to ignore this, but you can add a domain. Just click there to see how you can do that. And then what is remaining here? Confirmed opt-in. Yeah, this is for if you want people to confirm that, hey, you've just given me your email on my landing page. Are you sure that you want to be on my list? You can send them a confirmation, or you can turn it off, and they will automatically get registered on your contact list. And you can also add them once people subscribe. You can add them on an autoresponder. If you have autoresponders, then you can add them on one of those autoresponders. Okay, so you can just go and create autoresponders. If you already have autoresponders, you can choose them from here. So let's see what we have here. You can connect this with Google. Just add your Google ID, your Google Analytics ID, and that is usually something that starts with UA. So that UA dash some number, come and add that here. And you can also connect with all of this, okay? The Google Pixels, any of this. If you are in any of this, just get the IDs and come and put them here. Like for Facebook, get the Pixel ID. In my case, I will just click to publish. So what you do is you just copy this link and share it wherever. So you can just copy that link and share it with everybody who is interested, and you can see the status of my landing page is showing that it's been published. And if I come here and I paste in the link, paste and go, we are going to see that our landing page has been published and it is publicly visible. So if I was to market this, I would market it out on Facebook or anywhere, and people will be able to join to get whatever it is I'm selling here. So these are the colors that I chose for you. If you love certain colors, you can use them. Just make sure you respect the rule of design with contrast. Whatever you write must be legible. So I don't know if there's anything that's remaining here. And if you want to delete this, you can just click on it and delete it. And I'm going to delete it. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel very free to let me know, and I will see how to help you. Okay, so that's it for this video. It's been a pretty long video, but if you watched it to the end, I'm sure by now you can go into any of those other landing pages and just customize it as much as you want. And that's what the goal for this video was. The goal for this tutorial was for me to show you how you can create a Getresponse landing page from scratch so that you can get the knowledge to edit any of those other landing pages. I will see you in the next video next time.